Welcome to Ukrainian Minute. This week's news will start off with a devastating accident that happened as a bus drove over a landmine going from Artemysk to Horlivka in Ukraine. The mine explosion killed 4 people and injured many others. Next in news, Savchenko's lawyers are requesting that Judge Arthur Karpo is replaced by another judge due to his involvement in Magnitsky's case, who was beaten in a cell and died in 2009. The U.S. Department actually has sanctions against this judge due to his involvement, as he was one of the judges that put the man in jail after he said that he had evidence that the state officials were part of a state embezzlement scheme in Russia. That request was unfortunately turned down, as the judge himself stated that they did not give a replacement for him, and so he will continue to try the case. Quick recap that Savchenko has now been in jail in Russia since June, when she was kidnapped, and now being charged over mortar attacks that killed 2 Russian journalists. Also, Alla Dziuma, a Russian parliamentary member in the lower house of Duma, is now being charged with embezzlement by the Russian government. He was one of the only members of parliament that voted against the annexation of Crimea, and obviously is now being punished for it. He's currently living in the US, and as he states, it would be stupid of him to return to Russia just to go to prison. Putin gave a talk this Thursday to the Federal Counterintelligence Service in Russia, and he had very interesting things to say, and I think it really gives a clear idea of the line of thinking and the propaganda that's currently being pushed in Russia. He begins by saying that no one has ever succeeded in intimidating or pressuring our country, and no one ever will. We have always had and always will have an adequate answer for all internal and external threats to national security. He continued to say, "The situation cannot always remain as it is going to change, and I hope it will change for the better, including the situation in our country. But the changes for the better will not happen if we constantly yield, give in, or use baby talk. It will only improve if we become stronger." Now, when has Russia ever yielded? I cannot say, but he thinks that they should be stronger and continue in a very antagonistic and offensive approach. And lastly, on our news agenda, a Chechen parliament speaker stated that if the US would arm Ukrainians with lethal weapons, they would return in kind and arm Mexico with lethal weapons as well, in order to inflame disputes regarding annexed territories such as New Mexico, California, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and part of Wyoming. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Lastly, Chicago enjoyed a visit from Senator McCain as he gave a speech to the Ukrainian community in Chicago. He stated his frustration over President Obama's refusal to give lethal aid to Ukraine, and he spoke about the events going on and how much he enjoyed being on Maidan. And one of my favorite quotes from that evening was him describing that every time Vladimir Putin makes a move, our European friends and president say, "You better not do anything else." And I think that was a great summarization of our political strategy thus far. But we'll see. We'll see how everything moves forward from here. So that's all for now. Visit us on UAPOST.US for more news, and have a wonderful day.